Hello Taurus, so welcome to Creators on the Crest. I'm Stephanie, this is Blazer the Morky over here, and we are coming to you with your November monthly reading. Today we'll be doing a Celtic Cross style spread, and then we will close it off with an oracle card for the Taurus collective. Keep in mind, these are general readings, so take only what resonates and leave the rest. If you're interested in more context and texture, check out your Sun, Moon, Rising, and North Node readings for additional information. If you really want to get into things, you can check the description below and book a personal reading with me. There's also links to social media, making donations, and just getting involved with Creators on the Crest. So I definitely encourage you to check that out. We are celebrating Scorpio season for the month of November, so in my defense, it's Scorpio season. Happy birthday to all of our Scorpios. Alrighty, let's get going here, Taurus. You're ready. Okay, your energy right now is presenting actually quite productively. You have the Eight of Pentacles with the busy little bee here. You may feel like things are a bit overwhelming, or with this Heron card, the Six of Wands, that things are just coming fast and you feel the need to maybe fly away and just get some of your own personal time to yourself. For some of you, let me take a sip of water. Whew, that was a little something there. For some of you, this feels like you're kind of looking at things and you're like, well, there's no end in sight. There's no end in sight with me being so busy. I have no time for myself. I need more time for myself. You know, these cards are really cool from this Hyde Tarot by Dan Francis. And then I'm going to use the Lightseer's Tarot. So I'm going to be showing you a lot of the pictures because there are a lot of animal totems. And coming up in your reading, you have quite a few animals here you could work with. Just check in with your intuition, whichever one you feel the most pulled to, you can work with that energy. But this Heron challenge is, you know, I don't see an end in sight, and that might be really rocking your comfort zone at this time. Taurus, in your needed focus, you get the Parrot, the Queen of Wands. This is really getting comfortable with your own power and really getting comfortable with the things you're passionate about. And it's very interesting that it's a parrot because I think to you, the comfort level is still being established. That's why this is the needed area of focus. I think you've talked about it a lot, but I'm not sure that you've done the actions that you need, right? You may be busy doing things, but are you doing the right things? This Queen of Wands is going to go and do the things that are going to make the most difference for herself. Excuse me. Instead of just parroting what needs to be done, she's actually going to go do it. So do keep that in mind, okay? So I feel like you've talked about it, you've talked about it, you've talked about it. It's just a matter of going and doing it, okay? I have a Taurus moon, and I absolutely am receiving this message for myself as well, because that makes a lot of sense. In the past, what are you leaving behind? The Siren. This is the Devil card in this particular deck. There is, you know, definitely a lot going on in our environment, in our atmosphere, a lot of kind of energies coming at us all the time. I think in the past, you got lured into some things that might have been more, what I want to say, they had the promise of pleasure attached to them. And I think you've realized that it's important to, yes, for a Taurus, very important to discover and uncover pleasure, but not to overindulge, that more moderation is needed so that this queen can come up and do the work she needs to do. So you might have the tendency to Netflix and chill a little too much, if that makes sense. But that's coming up in the past energy. So I'm wondering if that's something you're like, I'm leaving it behind now. And in your future position, you have the Amber, Four of Wands. You're ready to have a more solid structure around what you're doing. That's what you're going to be moving toward. Amber resin, when it hardens, it's very hard, beautiful browns, yellows, oranges, greens colored that you can get, a piece of amber would be extremely helpful for you. And in this amber, there's like a little insect kind of trapped in there. And I think that's you indicating to me that you're going to bring along a part of the past. There's something ancient that lies within you and your journey, and you're going to bring that along, but you're not going to let the past affect you as it once has in this lifetime. Okay, so there could be some past life things going on there for you, but the amber, very important totem for you at this time as well, from the rock kingdom or the tree kingdom, because it's kind of in between the plant kingdom. It hardens like a rock, but comes from trees. Okay, so the tiger is what comes up in your place of empowerment. I love this. This is the Page of Pentacles. This is energy that you're comfortable with. Okay, so you're feeling good about it in yourself. The tiger is extremely strong. So there's that Taurus energy coming through in the feline kind of form with the tiger. A lot of power in the tiger. I would say of any of the animals I could choose to represent empowerment or an empowered state, it is the tiger here. Looking really good there. Looking like when you have the time and the space and you choose to focus on yourself, it's looking really good. In your allies and support, you have the starfish, the Two of Pentacles. You do really good when people provide a couple of different sets of information to you and let yourself critically think your way through it. You're definitely giving me you're definitely saying you don't like to be told what to do. You like to be presented options, however, that you can choose from. So you may have some people around you that are really good at, hey, you could try this, or hey, you could look at it this way. And they're good at giving options. You really like that. It makes you feel comfortable enough with accepting that you can't control everything, but you can control your approach to it. Okay, so looking good in allies and support. That'll be interesting to clarify because I'd like to see more on that. In your environment, you have the mouse, which is the Seven of Pentacles. Now, mice, they're, very active. They scurry a lot. This could indicate that you're doing some physical movement, and it may be little, it may be like a baby step, it may be minor, but whatever you're doing to kind of scurry about, like walking for you would be excellent. Dancing for you would be excellent. When I think more of, I can see some of the men being like, well, okay, for you, it would be doing reps or sets with weights, doing push-ups, sit-ups. You need to move. It doesn't have to be something super exuberant, but I feel like it's going to help you with these energies that you're dealing with. You may not feel in your current state, because you are very busy, like you have time for it, but the mouse is a very busy creature like the bee. So you're going to have to find a way to balance those energies. And I think this is more your earth energy. So maybe just taking a nice nature walk, even just 10 or 15 minutes, just giving yourself some time outside, walk the dog, walk the cat, do whatever you've got to do there. In your hopes and fears, you have the Nine of Pentacles. So really working with your own earthly energies here, and you've got the doe. Gentle, this is very gentle. Some of you may have the fear that you come off too strong at times. At times you may tiptoe around the point of things because you're worried about hurting someone's feelings or overstepping your boundaries, going outside of your comfort zone even. But here with the doe, you are being encouraged to put the next part of the piece together, to go ahead and take that risk, to take that step. Yes, you can do it gently. And yes, you could maybe do it different in a more, what I want to say is non-reactive way than you have in the past. But the movement forward still needs to be there. The Nine of Pentacles, the hard work has gone in with the 8 and you've been busy. You're hoping you can balance this out to the next level. So this has something to do, to me, it feels like it has more to do with communication there for you. In the potential outcome, you get the Page of Wands, the Moth. Something is going to be birthed out of a dark place for you. And I really actually like this energy. It feels good. It feels like almost like some sort of awareness arises into your consciousness from your subconscious, unconscious realm and illuminates. Now, I don't know that you'll be, that you'll be outwardly showing everyone this right away. I won't know till I clarify. This could have to do with you maybe having a hypnosis session, or you're training to be a hypnotherapist, or you're doing some kind of subconscious, unconscious healing work. And for some reason, for some of you, and this could be just a smaller population, but I see those little, the little nodes that they hook up and they test brain waves. You could be going through a sleep study, some of you, or doing something like that. You may have considered that. Okay, and so that may be something that is on the horizon here, since that comes up in the potential outcome here. Let's look at this bee, the Eight of Pentacles, this busy, busy bee, Taurus, that you are. Ha ha, ha 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 ha. Taurus, you got the Nine of Pentacles and the High Priestess. The busyness and the productivity that you're feeling right now is playing into your hopes and dreams. The Nine of Pentacles is what came up in your hopes and fears. But looky here, you have the High Priestess, and she's definitely going to be the one who is able to call out fear, sniff out fear, right? This is the inner wisdom. This is the, I want to say, higher mind. Like your higher mind is coming through for you right now. This energy feels very good. So yes, you may be very busy, but the busyness, the things that you're doing, they're serving a purpose, and it is to help you move forward in a more empowered way. So even if you're busy doing the things that, like instead of doing something that you want to create, you're doing the laundry. Even if you are doing those things, just do your best to put your beautiful Tauran presence into whatever it is you're doing, because it's all a part of it. It's all a part of helping you navigate this month. Let's look at the Heron. So you're like, what is the end in sight? You kind of want this end in sight. You get yourself a little worked up over things sometimes, a little stressed out with this Nine of Swords. This would be the energy where you're going in and you're like, is there any end in sight? There's this, and then the wheel of the mind turns and turns and turns, and pretty soon you're just so stressed out you can't sleep. You're feeling anxious. And we got the King of Pentacles here too, though, clarifying this is the mastery of your earthly energies, of your own sign. You absolutely have the tools and the wherewithal and the wisdom to navigate these energies, grounding yourself into the earthly energies and not permitting yourself to get too caught up in where's the end? Is the end in sight? You have to start looking at this like a journey. So as you're the Heron and as you're observing and you're being challenged by the energies of like your observations aren't really maybe giving you answers, right? That's bothering you. That's bothering you that your own observations aren't giving you answers. But that's also the mind wanting to take over. And it will take over usually in an imbalanced way. Logic and reason are absolutely wonderful tools to have, and earth signs are very practical and good with dealing with those energies. But gosh, we just need to be sometimes. We just need to trust. We just need to know that we've got this and not prevent ourselves from taking those next steps because we don't have all the answers. So there is this little bit of you of like, well, my observations aren't bringing me the answers. Maybe you're going to have to, instead of observing, you're going to have to intuit. Maybe instead of observing, you're going to have to actually physically move through something here, the physical actions. Let's look at this siren, the devil from the past, and get some clarifiers here. Taurus, I think at some point in time in your past, your trust in things unfolding for you in a good way was impacted. This could be something from the past, like in your childhood, where you were really craving loyalty. This could be, for some of you, this could be the loss, the aging and loss of a pet coming in there, or a pet that was very comforting to you and their presence is no longer with you, and you've had to kind of reset and felt a little bit out of sorts for a while. You may have lost someone, or maybe even feeling like you lost an opportunity with someone or to heal something. So there's a little bit of like regret there. And I would say the Netflix, the over-Netflixing, overindulging in whatever you might be overindulging in is probably what keeps you from dealing with that energies, or sometimes you get like drawn back into that. And for some reason, I kind of went out of order. I skipped this Queen of Wands. So we're going to come to her before we go in the future, because this is your needed focus. I truly believe when I do these readings, I get so in the energies, everything happens for a reason. So if it didn't go in the exact order, there's a reason for it. Let's see what this Queen of Wands, this is your needed focus. Knowing that your passion and your drive and your will force is powerful, is strong, is, oh yeah, is like absolutely deserving of living your passion. You got the Queen of Swords and the Emperor. I really like these energies together for you because they're strong, they're solid, which is the Taurus energy. Very solid, very rock solid here. The Queen of Swords has clarity, and I think that's one of the things you've been striving for. And what they're saying is you creating stability for yourself with the Emperor. This is what, and when I say they're saying, what the cards are saying, what your greater being is saying is, as you work to stabilize yourself in what you're passionate about, okay, you're maybe it's like a bit of a, you're laying the bricks, you're laying the foundation, but as you stabilize in what you're passionate about, the clarity comes. And here she is kind of waiting for the clarity, right? Waiting and seeing what the next step is, but also being in full control of the sword here, being in control of that air element. And she has pride and confidence there because she is in alignment with what she's passionate about. And she's not just speaking it, she's actually, Emperor is connected to Aries. This is taking action toward your passion. So the more you take action toward your passion, even if it's small, even if it's only 10 minutes a day, the more stabilized you're going to feel. And then the answers, the next, everything's going to be revealed to you that you need to know. The clarity is coming. It kind of, to me, you're kind of giving me the sense it feels far off, but it may not be as far off as you think because you are having this challenge of this Nine of Swords. You might be a little wrapped up in the hamster wheel of the mind. Let's look at this Amber, the Four of Wands that comes up in your future position, the Ten of Cups, and the Knight of Swords. Yeah, I feel like there's, so with this Amber, so you're kind of bringing parts of the past with you, and they're not affecting you because they're hardened in this Amber. But I really feel like you got the Ten of Cups and the Knight of Swords, and I feel like this is new people coming into your life. I really do. I think this is new relationships. I think this is new connections, partnerships. Could be business related for you as well, or connected to your passion in some way. And it feels like once you have this clarity in the focus area, or you're comfortable with the pace at which the clarity comes in, so you feel like a gratitude and you feel restful about it, it feels good, then things are really going to start happening, right? But in a different way than the Eight of Pentacles, in a different way than the hard work, right? And I kind of feel like in this particular card, of this Knight here, this Knight of Swords, I feel like you're the motorcycle. So there's a vehicle, like your vehicle of talents, and your energy is going to catch up to that. It's going to catch up to that. And there's going to be people here in the future coming in who help support your vision. I feel like you're also someone who has the ability to navigate diverse experiences really well. Traveling might be up for you in the future because of that. So if you have a vacation or something planned, or it's just going to come to you when it comes to you. Let's look at this Page of Pentacles in your place of empowerment here, that tiger. Remember, we had this beautiful tiger energy or tigress energy. It's clarified by the Two of Swords and the Six of Wands. You feel the best in the Six of Wands here when you sort through different options, different things. Your energy is giving me the kind of sense that, like, you know those escape rooms where you have to like solve puzzles and do things to find your way out? Like, you're really good at stuff like that. You're really good at taking information, working through it, and finding your way out of it. And that's really a strength of yours, to be able to take the information, even if you just like don't know what you're going to do with it, but you take it in and then you somehow transform that into energy that can be used. So this is really cool here, because the Two of Swords, I feel like this is how you challenge yourself. And considering that in your allies and support here, you have the Two of Pentacles. Again, you're someone who looks at all the angles. You look at the whole spectrum of options. That may be why your diverse experiences really serve you, because you look up and down the gamut. You're not missing anything, and you'll weigh this and that, and then you'll weigh that and this, and you kind of work through it. You like having the options. You like things not being, it's really interesting, and maybe this is just a November phase, but you like things not being as set in stone. So there may be other parts of your chart you're working with right now, less fixed energies, that are really helping you move. So for the Starfish, the Two of Pentacles, and your allies and support, you got the Magician and the Ten of Pentacles. And I'm just looking back over your cards here. Couple tens and sixes are kind of standing out number wise, and then we've got the twos as well. 2, 6, and 10. Thank you, Blaze. Yeah, it feels really good. Some of the people that you have around you. One moment. Excuse me there, Taurus. A family member arrived home and Blaze had to go greet them. But in your support and allies and around you, in, I think, your physical environment, are some people who are what I would consider magical people, maybe more spiritual people. And I think you have that aspect of yourself too. And this is also connected to manifestation. So you may be working with friends or even a coach on manifesting. What you're manifesting, how to manifest, how you can even shorten the duration of your manifestations. That might be something that's coming up for you. Let's look at this Mouse. Another kind of busy energy, but also maybe it's not as quick as the Bee. Maybe a little more, conscious of what's going on around. Maybe not as honed in as the Bee there. You get there's another 6. A 6 of Pentacles and a 3 of Wands. I think, Taurus, you're one of those signs that you can't really be made to move faster than you want to move. And you want to make sure here, like the 3 of Wands here, the surfer waiting for the wave, you want to make sure you catch the best wave. And so this, I do feel like, you know how a mouse is kind of like sniffing and it kind of, darts back and forth and turns its head? You're really taking note of what is going on around you. You may at times get drawn into kind of the external world, or you may be getting drawn in November to like and it's hard not to because it's everywhere, like politics or something like that, those kinds of energies. But here, the mouse, I get be like the mouse, you know, where you are kind of out of view of those energies that would draw you into exchanging with them here, because your time and your energy is valuable. So if you're doom scrolling, or you're getting caught up in politics, or you're getting caught up in some true crime story or something like that, right? It's all well and good to learn and make observations and research, but what kind of exchange of your energy is happening? And that is something important for you in the month of November in your environment. So the mouse would maybe shrink away from some of the more distracting energies so you can find the best way for yourself. Again, remember, I felt that in the past too, like you have the tendency when you're uncomfortable to want to distract yourself. And that's coming up again. You may be tested in your environment. There may be someone or something that tests you in your environment. It's like, and you're like, I want to do this, but then I always go and do that. Why? And you're really going to be working with that. Let's look at your hopes and fears. This doe, which was the 9 of Pentacles, that gentle energy. Yeah, here you go again. Here's another 2, the 2 of Pentacles, which also is in your allies and support. And look at this, the Page of Wands. What fun is she having there? Connected to that Queen of Wands and your needed focus. Some fire energy there. Movement. In this case, she's throwing a wand and it's kind of making like a circle. So circular movement, the 2 of Pentacles. Considering the hidden realms with what you see every day, the earthly realms. Being able to be pragmatic, but also being able to be spiritual. And I almost wanted to say serious. Being able to have fun and being able to be serious. And the doe would indicate to me that when it comes to your expectations around fun and being serious, and you know, there's this balance that wants to be struck here. I think you're working at that balance. You're hoping you can get into that balance, even though you'll always be someone who is considering things from that whole full spectrum, that multiple perspective that I was picking up, that diverse perspective that you have. Let's look at this moth, this Page of Wands, in the potential outcome. Remember I said something illuminating from the subconscious? We have a group, 3 of Cups here, so a group of 3. This may be a coach, somebody you're working with, could be somebody you are a client, could be clients. And then you've got the 8 of Wands. I think November is going to be one of those months where if you really work at embracing what you're most passionate about and not just talking about it, but actually taking the actions, once you take the actual actions, like that clarity is going to come that way. You definitely are able to see multiple sides, and you like being presented multiple angles and sides of things. That might be why you do get distracted sometimes in whether it be like the ins and outs of politics, or, you know, like a true crime series, or, you know, something like that. And we all need to have that time to unplug. Absolutely, we all do. And this for you is more about finding that balance for yourself. Gosh, there's so much symbolism in this reading, Taurus, for you. So since it's general, I was probably picking up on more than one Tauran energy, definitely. It feels like there's multiple of you showing up, of you who are listening to this. So roll with what feels good to you. Maybe there's parts where you're like, well, that doesn't really make sense. But the other part of the reading, you're like, oh yeah, I really related to that. So feel free, because I feel like it's important for me to say that, not all the time in every reading, but for some reason in this reading, it's important for me to say, look at the whole thing and then just work with 1 or 2 things that really resonated with you, because you've got all these, you know, spirit animals here that have come out. You've got all kinds of symbolism and visual energies here. All right, Taurus, we're pulling a card for you from the Divine Animals Oracle to close off your reading today. Taurus, you got Elephant Leadership. There is a time to step forward and lead, and it is now. Be the leader in your own life. If you want something achieved, take the lead yourself. And yes, Taurus, it was about that action. The time for talking about it is over. The time for acting on it is now. Be the example that others will follow. Do not lead by force, but instead lead by inspiration. Elephant magic is very powerful yet calm. It can be used when you wish to have obstacles removed or to move out of a limbo situation. Elephants are wise and they take leadership very seriously. That is where their magic is most effective. If you wish to become a better leader, or at least a wiser one, or you would like to attract such a person into your life, ask for the elephant to lend the energy to you. And this is a real kindred spirit for you, Taurus. The elephant, the bull, the elephant, very big energy that should feel really comfortable to you, but really looking at the leadership and the wisdom that comes from that energy of the elephant. So lots of animals came up in here. My goodness, lots of totems and signs. So again, take it all in. Maybe this will be a reading that you listen to again. Pick out the pieces, work with them as you feel called, little by little. You've been given lots of options here, which you're telling me you like, and you like to consider these different things. So take some time with this one. Take some time in the month of November for yourself, okay? Taurus, thank you so much for joining. I can't wait to see you next time.